Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome to the Gun Shop. I'm Niels Hansen, aka Guns for Hire. And I want to talk about, this is a follow-up. I think this is maybe the third or fourth video on the Iran, and I say the Iran-US dispute, you know what I mean? Because although this is really a UN issue, you know, the US is heading this. And I know they had a lot of these things, you know, they lead the charge in there and everything like that. But this is a particular big issue. At least it's being made out to be that way, you know what I mean, in the media. But Iran has agreed to allow a high-level UN atomic energy or nuclear team into Iran to do some inspections. Because Iran's saying, no, this is, you know, this is a nuclear power program. And even if it's not, even if they're investigating how to make nuclear weapons, again, I'm kind of iffy on that. I know I don't want anyone to have them because they scare the living bejesus out of me, to be quite honest. I don't like any country having them. Humans are dangerous, dangerous creatures, and especially with a power like that. We've seen what happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I don't want to ever see that repeated again. Ever see that repeated again. So, you know, when you hear about things like, you know, the news is like, oh, Iran's got this nuclear program, and Iran's like, listen, it's a power program. And they're like, no, 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 we suspect, and who knows what it is. But the fact that Iran is allowing this high-end team to go in and inspect her is a good gesture. It's goodwill. You know what I mean? Despite all the propaganda going out there. And this is what, it makes it so difficult for people like you and me to really know what the heck is going on. When Iran does that, I mean, I know we're going to hear the same thing, like, oh, well, they're going to hide it. Think of, let's go back to Iraq. Iran. It's funny how that happens. But anyway, go to Iraq, the weapons of mass destruction. They allowed the team in, they go investigating everything, they find nothing, and yet still we go into the country. And we basically go across every friggin' square inch, well, as much as possible, as much as humanly possible. Now remember, weapons of mass destruction, it's not something you can hide in your back pocket. If they're going to find something, you know, if it's hidden somewhere, they're going to find something. It's not like you can just hide a giant friggin' missile and no one's going to see it anywhere. You know what I mean? There's a possibility that they could hide components and stuff like that. But anyway, the fact is that the U.S. invaded. There was absolutely nothing found after that. Nothing but problems. U.S. soldiers getting killed. Iraqi citizens, innocent people getting killed. That was the end result. You know what I mean? And then, you know, whether it was Obama's initiative or whatever, finally getting the U.S. troops out because they should not be there. They should not be in harm's way and they should not be interfering with domestic matters like that. Although, you know, maybe they had to remove the tyrants, Saddam Hussein. But again, unless they were specifically asking to do that, it's hard. I don't want to make a decision on it. Anyway, I'm digressing on that note, but this is what I want to see happen. The fact that Iran is saying, okay, fine. And they're only doing this because the rest of the world is putting pressure on them, saying they're backing them into the corner. Iran's saying, listen, why is everyone coming down on us? Just because we're investigating this, because we're looking into nuclear technology. Suddenly, the worst scenario is what you're accusing us of. You know what I mean? They're worried about this, and you know, in today's day and age, you can't really blame people for being worried, but it's like no one can take anyone's word. So they're like, no, listen, we're not developing that, we're doing this. And so they're like, and I don't blame them for saying, no, you're not coming in here, you're not doing this. Just, you know, who is the U.S. or the UN to say, we're coming into your country. We don't trust you, we're coming in. And they're like, screw you. You know, it gives you a right to do that. But all this escalating pressure and the U.S. and the aircraft carriers, you know, war looming around the corner there. Again, and the Iran's like, you know, just like anyone else, fine, come on in. They concede to the notion of the UN. Now remember, this isn't just about the U.S. versus Iran. This is the UN. This is a UN initiative, okay? So this is most of the countries that you're from right now watching this, wherever you're from. You know what I mean? Many of the countries are part of the UN. So this isn't just the US, this is all of our countries. You know, well, the UN countries, you know what I mean? Which is a lot. So the UN is going in there. This is what I want to see happen. If they don't find anything, if they don't find any evidence of nuclear weapons being made, just like what happened with Iraq, there was no evidence, they found absolutely no evidence of weapons of mass destruction, then stay the hell out of the country. Keep monitoring, fine, monitor them. But back off. The U.S., you need to pull your dogs off these people. If they find absolutely nothing, you need to give them some breathing space and stop breathing down their friggin' neck. Stop putting pressure on them. If anything, they're gonna snap. I don't want to see a war happen here. If you have no evidence, it's like, think about it as the legal, you know, the courts and everything like that, which we uphold all the time, our laws and everything. Innocent until proven guilty. Well, them allowing and conceding to allow a UN nuclear team to go in there and investigate, that gesture of goodwill should be reciprocated by the rest of the world, particularly the US. It needs to be reciprocated. If they're saying, fine, we come in here, you find nothing, then back off. Keep watching. Watch all you want. But you know what? Stop getting the world all up. Oh, what's going on here? You know, is there actually something bad here? You find nothing, back the dogs off. Pull them back. Because this is ridiculous. I don't want to see another war happen over this, especially knowing that this is it's not just about nuclear power. There's 40%, and I know it all comes down to this, but in this case here, it has this taste of reality. 40% of the world's oil comes right through that, the Strait of Hormuz? Right through there, right through Iran. So don't tell me that in this particular case that it's not about oil, that there's not some concern about oil. Because the US consumes most of that oil worldwide. They're very reliant on international oil supply. Even though they have, you know, a good chunk of their own, they're very reliant, a huge consumer of international oil, whether it's from Canada or predominantly from the Middle East. And Iran, that Strait of Hormuz, 40% of that oil, 40% of the world's supply of oil comes straight through there. So don't tell me that it's nothing to do with oil. You don't find any indication that nuclear weapons are being made, you back off. That's the way it should be. You give them some breathing space. I don't want to see another war over this. Not because you're worried about your supply of oil, because that's bullshit. Anyway, that's it. Leave your comments below. I just wanted to give you an update. This is another article. Iran is making some leeway. Again, you gotta be careful with the propaganda. Maybe this is part of their, you know, who knows what it is. Maybe they've got them hidden, whatever the case may be. I don't care what your conspiracy theory is. If you find nothing, you've got no proof. And like in the courts here, which we uphold, and we say it's about, you know, innocent until proven guilty, same thing applies then. Don't be a hypocrite. You know what I mean? That's the way it should be. Anyway, that's it. Leave your comments below. Rate the video if you haven't done so already, please. Like, dislike, whatever it is, whatever you're feeling. If I pissed you off, hit the dislike button. Nothing I can do about it, but please do rate. Also, you can follow me on Twitter. If you got links to other interesting articles, whether it's video game related, tech, world issues, whatever. I like covering them all. I like discussing them, and I think most of us are intelligent. I shouldn't say most of us. We are intelligent enough to discuss these things, and I think it's important, whether or not you're just interested in video games, that the odd time we do discuss things like this. You know what I mean? It makes us a better person, makes us a better society, and I like to think that the gamers are a little bit smarter than everyone else. I'm just saying. That's because I'm a gamer though too. Anyway, that's it. Have yourself a great day, and enjoy your weekend. Peace.